It's Sunday morning, and every decent man and woman is listening to Test Miles with Nick Miles on FM News 101 KXL. Buckle in.
So I think somebody at the station may be playing a joke on me because we have a new boss. His name is Bruce. And radio guys aren't, radio bosses aren't always that nice. This guy sat me down in his office and said, thank you for such amazing ratings. Thank you for an amazing show. And thank you for all the work you're doing. And I'm like...
Were you being punked?
I'm like... Where does Ashton Kutcher come out of the corner? What's going on here? Like, this is not how radio bosses are. They're supposed to come in and go,
You're
listen, you guys need to get your act together. You need to pull your ratings up. This show is in trouble. That's not how it works. So something clearly is wrong. But anyway, it's down to the listeners. All of you guys, thank you so much for being part of the show. The next 60 minutes, we're going to talk about cars, trucks, SUVs, in fact, anything that has a throttle. It's your weekly automotive experience. I'm Nick Miles, and you're listening to America's Automotive Radio Show, keeping you connected to the automotive world. We are locally created, nationally celebrated. So what's on today's show? We're going to talk about what we've been taking out of the Test Miles garage. Stuart Fowle will be joining us to talk about the new 2017 Buick LaCrosse and how the held a launch right here in Portland. You may have seen them driving around the city streets. Miriam Jouar will be here in studio to talk about technology and what's going on with cars, and we have differences of opinion, so it's bound to get heated. Peter Clover in the studio to talk about bringing the outdoors inside a vehicle, and Ryan has been testing some products. So Brad, what have you been driving this week?
I had an opportunity to drive the 2016 Mitsubishi Lancer SEL. They call it the all-wheel control vehicle, not all-wheel drive.
Can you say nice things about this car?
I can.
Okay, good.
I'm working on it.
Carry on.
Okay. So it has had some improvements for 2016, which include a new front center console, some improved audio display. It's more improved front fascia. It looks good. Sadly, the Evo is not available for 2016.
That's a shame.
Do you want to hear the secret? Do you want to hear the secret behind this?
Yeah.
I think the Evo is coming back, but not in its same form. It'll be a plug-in hybrid.
Oh,
yeah. So it'll be the first plug-in hybrid rally car.
Okay,
that's the inside.
Big
that's
market
not
for
official.
That. Big market for that.
That's not huge market for that. Do you know why? You get two engines. You get much more power.
You get so much torque
and a $7,500 rebate.
And yes, technically yes. And so anyway, carry on.
Okay,
as you were.
So. What is tough for the Lancer is that we have to remember it's all about value for Mitsubishi these days. And you corrected me on this a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about the SUV and that it's one of the lowest priced vehicles for the features. And for $22,000 for this vehicle with an all-wheel drive system and pretty comfortable to drive and nice. It had a 2.4 liter engine, gets 31 miles to the gallon on the highway. That's a pretty decent value for that.
Add in that 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty.
Absolutely. And it does have a 5-year, 60,000 new vehicle warranty for all the vehicles. So it's pretty solid with that. It does have a nice sound system with the 710-watt Rockford Fosgate system. So you can, when you're sitting in Portland traffic, you can sit fairly comfortably and
annoy people around you with the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to do that.
But it's tough because it does compete with the Civic, the Elantra, and the Corolla. In 2016, they sold 16,500 of the Lancers. By comparison, Honda sold over 300,000 Civics.
Yeah, that's a
so when you're trying to be in the mindset or the zeitgeist of car buyers.
You say it starts at 16,000?
Yes, 17.5. So 17.5 to 23.
So you're looking at a Corolla with 80,000, 70,000 miles on it, or you're looking at a brand new car with 100,000 10-year warranty, right?
Yep.
So that's where the choice comes.
So it's value.
Value.
In comparison.
Yeah.
So it's it was fine. A little noisy on the inside, wasn't a dynamic driving car, but again, it's all about the value.
All right, Sean, what have you been driving?
I actually drove a car I was super excited about, owning 4 of them. 4 previous generations, but I had the 6th generation Camaro.
What happened to your other 3?
One is still sitting in my garage, and the other three, let's say one rolled 4 times, one got wrapped around a telephone pole, and one I blew the engine.
All right, there you go. Carry on.
Okay, so there's some cool tech in this vehicle. You could change the exhaust note on this, which I don't like, and I always had it on track. But if you were taking a phone call and wanted to do stealth mode or rolling up to your house, because it's a loud exhaust, if you're rolling up probably 2 a.m. and don't want to wake the neighbors, you can silence the exhaust on this.
See, I see you as kind of the opposite guy, like putting it on the loudest thing when you
Oh,
go into a
yeah, I
driveway.
had it on the loudest all the time.
Just because you want to upset your neighbors.
Oh, yeah, I even backed up to a neighbor that yelled at me because of my Camaro that I have right now. Its exhaust is a little too loud. I rolled up to his bedroom window, kind of, and just revved it a few times. That's just how I am, I guess. You can also change the drive modes. You have snow mode for the first time on a Camaro, but you also have touring, sport, and track mode. It has you can also change the interior lighting with it. It has a 6.2 liter V8, 455 horsepower, 455 pounds-feet of torque, and it's the most powerful SS Camaro that they've made. 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds. Comes with a 6-speed manual, which I loved. The only thing I didn't like about this manual is to save fuel efficiency, there's a first to fourth gear function. And
everybody hates that.
I've
not.
I love it.
Yeah, well, Jen, you're kind of weird.
Yeah, no kidding. Because, I mean...
You can trick it.
Yeah, you got to talk into the microphone.
You can trick it.
But it takes too much time to trick it. It's just let me put it in second. And it feels so weird when it's trying to... You're gaining the routine of driving. You want to go into second because that's what you're programmed to go. And all of a sudden it's like,
no, you
let's
just
go to
take your
fourth.
foot off the gas, and then it lets you go right into
Fight. I
just don't want to. I mean, if you're getting on the car and actually racing the car, it doesn't do this function.
I think you can disable it. There is a way to disable it. But you have to
disable it every time you turn the vehicle on.
Right.
That's the one thing. And to do it, it's like you can only do it as you're shifting. So it's like as you're shifting, and it has to be the buttons on the right hand of the steering wheel. So it's like you got to move your left hand over to the steering wheel and try to disable it as you're shifting.
When it goes first to fourth, does it lag substantially?
It doesn't lag. It still has some performance. It's to save fuel, but it just it throws you off your game.
It's an EPA thing. I think they put it in there to try and keep the fuel economy down in the car.
But it doesn't lag. It's not.
No, because you got 455 horse. If you're lagging at that kind of horsepower, but it throws you off your game because you're so used to going to second. And it's like, well, okay, I'll go into fourth.
All right, come on, speed this up. How much did it cost? How much fuel economy?
We're not going to talk about fuel economy. I think I got like 13 miles a gallon.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get an SS. And how much is it going to cost you?
$36,300.
And it starts in without the SS, like the high 20s, like 27.
Yeah, high 20s.
All right. This week, I have been driving the 2016 Mercedes-Benz G550, the G-Wagon, very famous, made on the same line since the 1960s. They make them for the Nigerian police force, but they make them completely stripped down, so it's basically the same frame, but inside it's completely different on the inside. One of the most beautiful cars in the world, I will tell you, just looking at it inside and out. Expensive. The Designo seat package, $30,000 in this car, by the way, which is probably the price of 2 or 3 Mitsubishi.
Isn't it Designo?
Which is funny.
No, they call it Designo.
Okay.
I've asked 1,000 times.
What's funny about the styling, though, it's just a box, but it does look good. I mean, there's no curves on this car.
I'm into boxes. It does have a really nice silver, tire cover on the back, which I think looks it looks good. You can't argue that this car does not look really good.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying it's a box and it looks good.
It rides like a box without any suspension. It is beautiful on the outside. It is beautiful on the inside. It's a very tight squeeze. When you get inside, there is no cup holders on the inside. The cup holders actually have to flip down the glove box, and there's 2 little indentations on the glove box. I couldn't get my Venti coffee from Starbucks in there this morning.
Well, it's not like it's a smooth ride. It's going to be choppy.
Does it have an ashtray?
So it's going to spill.
It has an ashtray. It has an ashtray, but nowhere to put your drinks.
You know where I see the most of these? In the Starbucks up in the West Hills.
There you go. Or in LA where you see all the rock star kids and stuff. That sort of stuff. That's where you see them. Run through some of the facts quickly. This is a 700-pound towing capacity vehicle, handcrafted, Napa leather on the inside. 80% of that leather is is handcrafted. It 4-wheel drive electronic traction control. It has 3 different modes for axle modes that you can press the button. 4-liter V8, 416 horsepower, 7-speed automatic, all-wheel drive. Look on me, is 13 miles a gallon. And competition doesn't really have any. I mean, the Range Rover is not competition to this, which is the only car that would come close. Trim levels, there is an AMG 63 and a 65 version, which I will tell you, 700 horsepower, and this thing is a lot of fun. However, I couldn't feel my legs after getting out and driving this over 100 miles. The backside is just not a comfortable vehicle, but it's sexy. It's like fashion. You wear shoes that are too small because you look good, but afterwards you can't feel your feet. That's how it works.
So this is a pointy toe car?
Yes, a pointy toe car. I do really, really enjoy it. I would have one if it was free. It has lots of fun electronic stuff, and it's very safe. It's a Mercedes. Starting price, $119,000, 900. Yeah, it's expensive. It's not a cheap car, and that doesn't include all the extra. But I do have numb bum syndrome. All right, what's coming up on the show? When we come back, we're going to talk to Stuart Fowl from Buick. He is going to tell us all about, he's the new PR manager there. He was the youngest PR manager, by the way, in the industry at 31, but someone just snuck in under him at 30. He's going to tell us about the Buick LaCrosse, and that was launched in Portland this week. Miriam Schreier is going to be here talking about car tech, and we're going to have a huge argument about Tesla. And Ryan's going to be here, Peter Clover's going to be here, and the whole pit crew's here for the rest of Test Miles. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.